Hello, good people of planet Earth. Damon Hadfield here, and E3 is about to descend upon us like an alien mothership bringing video games from the future. A ton of new video game news will be revealed the week of June 10th. New games, new consoles, new hopes and dreams, and we're here to get you excited. We're first going to tackle Nintendo, so with me now is Audrey Drake, Rich George, and Brian Altano. This is E3 2013 Game Watch Nintendo Edition.
E3 2013 Game Watch Nintendo.
Hi guys, and lady. So, what is everyone most excited to see from Nintendo this year? Audrey, let's start with you.
Well, obviously one of the big games Nintendo announced recently was the sequel to Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past 2. I'm a bit of a Zelda fan, so I'm just a little bit excited to play that. Well, actually, I already did play it when they announced it at the 3DS Showcase a few weeks back. It feels very classic, but it's also bringing in some new features, like the ability that lets Link turn into a painting and actually slide along the wall to explore new areas of the dungeon and find secrets and stuff, so it's pretty cool. They also recently announced that they're bringing the Dark World back from the original game. I know! So I'm hoping we get to see that at E3. They haven't actually confirmed that it's going to be there, but come on. A new Zelda for 3DS, it's gotta be.
I think
but you guys played it.
I mean, the real question is like, okay, so we got a Dark World, we know we have the Overworld, and like, from all evidence suggests that these are like the same, and if I'm just gonna be wandering around in the exact same world that I played 20 years ago, like,
that would be awesome.
Where's the problem there?
It's kind of awesome, but at the same time,
More
it's like,
awesome, sadness.
I mean, why don't I just go play the original? So that's like the trick, right? Is like, how do you keep something, a direct sequel like that, fresh without, you know, without feeling like, oh, why am I playing this new one?
What it makes me wonder if, and again, we've only seen a demo version, the map could be wildly different than what we've seen, but if the overworld is so similar to the original, I wonder if they're actually going to include the original game, because I think that would be pretty easy to do.
I mean, that's Virtual Console, right?
No, like a 3D remake.
Yeah,
of the original
sure,
game.
sure.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
So, Rich, what are you most excited about?
Smash Brothers, right? I mean, that's the thing that's got everybody excited about Wii U and 3DS, and that's sort of the big distinguishing feature about this next game is actually it's games. It's one for Wii U and one for 3DS. Nintendo has promised that it will be shown at E3. Probably not playable if I had to guess, but we'll see first screens, whatever the heck that means. Is that like just a screenshot on a, like, you know,
it's
Nintendo
a picture
Direct?
of Mario fighting Bowser.
I know, right? Yeah, like
that's all you need. That and a logo, and you're good. For
exactly. Like, are we just gonna get a picture and then it's like gone for 3 years? But
that's cool. They're bringing in some new blood. Some of the developers from Tekken onto work on this. So I'm hoping that they won't let things like tripping fly in this one.
Yeah, right. So like Sakurai, the creator of the series, is still watching over this game, but he assembled some sort of weird dream team over at Namco Bandai from like everyone from Tekken to like Tales and I think even like Gundam games and all sorts of weird places. Traditional, you know, typical to Nintendo with this series, they announced the game and then 2 years later we're like, we should actually make a development team to make this game, which means that it's probably going to take a while to get there. I'm most curious to see, you know, if I'm playing Smash Brothers on Wii U, how does that experience port over to a 3DS? Much smaller screen. Like, you know, if you put 4 people on there, that's going to make little tiny guys if you zoom out. So.
Yeah, and a lot of Smash players still use the GameCube controller, so they'll have to get used to using either the Pro controller.
No, they'll make an adapter for 3DS. Plug it into the side.
They did that with Wii.
$30 more
adapter.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, there are a lot of unanswered questions, and we'll see if they can kind of capture the magic of probably Melee, I would say, versus Brawl, which, you know, I think most people acknowledge had some flaws. And then there's like, are there third-party guests? What's going on? Are we just going to be playing Tekken characters that, you know, bop around with Mario? Like, what is
You already did that with the Tekken.
Anthropomorphic Pac-Man is weird, guys.
Yeah.
No.
So, I mean, a lot of questions about it, but we do know that we're, at least last we heard, we're supposed to see it at E3. So.
Last and least, Brian Altano.
Damn.
Least, but I think this game will have the biggest impact. The new 3D Mario game that Nintendo's working on is confirmed to be at E3. Not sure if it'll be playable or not. I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be playable.
It's confirmed as playable. So
it's confirmed as playable at E3.
I said so.
Nintendo's never made a bad 3D Mario game. Like, every single one has been good, and even like Sunshine, which people didn't like as well as Mario 64 and Galaxy in retrospect, is still better than 95% of the other 3D platforming games out there made by everybody else.
That game's sort of like Wind Waker, where when you go back and play it, people have sort of appreciated it more over time.
Well, Wind Waker was great out the box. People were wrong about that one. Super Mario 3D Land came out on 3DS, and it was fantastic, and I'd like to see something like that, possibly with the kind of overworld hub from Mario 64, so you have this big castle, and you jump into these smaller sized levels. We can take a break from Galaxy for a while. I loved both of those games, but 2 in 2 years, both of them were fantastic. Let's move on to something else.
I would love a direct sequel to like Mario 64. You can call it Mario 128 if you want, but like let's see something where you're in the castle. With
I don't think people care about bits anymore.
No, not really. But I would love to see the like
would be up to
paintings.
now?
Everything's gonna have a U at the end of it now, so that'll be great.
The great thing about the paintings is it opens up. You can have so many diverse worlds because I mean, it's just whatever your imagination can think of. It doesn't have to be something that could theoretically be on a planet.
I think you know
space.
we're talking about Sunshine, and that was sort of the most disappointing part about Sunshine is that they were like, well, it's got to be tropical islands, and you're just like, where's my snow world? Where's my lava? Like, get me more diversity. They went a little more with that with Galaxy, where they just clearly had lost their minds and were just putting bees. Yes, let's have some bees in the galaxy.
Bees, why not? Have fun.
So I mean,
Naturally.
I would love to see that, and I think that the paintings and the sort of castle setting allowed a little more for that.
Yeah, I've always kind of wanted that because it was the best way to sort of simulate an open world in a Mario game and be like, it's this kind of like this big hub with these kind of micro levels in it. And with that comes whatever crazy new power-ups they want to think of this time. I'm hoping for maybe a rat or another dinosaur.
Mario.
Super Mario Rat.
Just anything for a rat. I don't know. Like
The
at this
Yoshi
point,
suit
would
would
it
be kind of
trip you up?
morbid,
And we've
Brian.
had shoes, we've had bees, we've had pretty much everything you can possibly think of. So sure, give us a rat.
These are all
You
strong
heard it
picks.
from Brian first, everyone.
Cue external shot of Miyamoto watching this broadcast, just writing rats. Excellent.
These are all strong picks. Now we all know that E3 is a huge show. This one will be even huger than usual. Both Sony and Microsoft will be showing off new consoles. What does Nintendo have to do to get people's attention?
I would have said have a press conference, but they decided not to do that.
Unprecedented.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for the first time in E3 history, like Nintendo will not have a press conference, and that is significant. And the question is, can they replace that with something that's better?
I think they can overcome it if they have the right game announcements. They obviously need to come out with a strong demo or at least showing of Mario, Smash, Zelda. And also it would be great to have some cool announcements up their sleeve. You know, maybe we would find out Retro's been working on Metroid. Please.
Yeah.
That
would
would be
amazing.
so shocking.
Maybe a
I
release
can't
date
even
for Bayonetta
fathom.
2, you know?
I think
they
Nintendo.
could still do well.
People think Nintendo is this company that's just like Wii Fit and Wii Play and Wii Sports Now, but they're not. I mean, if you look at the Wii, some of the best-selling games were Mario, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Country Returns. They still know how to make good games, and I don't
They
think
just make you wait for them.
Yeah, I don't think they're concerned with going neck and neck with Sony and Xbox anymore. In fact, I'm sure they're not because they're barely even trying on that front. But I think for Nintendo fans and people who like those games, it doesn't really matter. If they make some great games, it doesn't matter if the graphics have as many blue cubes as you can drop into that valley on PS4 or if they're just fun. That's what counts.
People go to Nintendo games for different things, like you said.
One thing that's going to be really interesting is that, you know, it's May right now. We're still about a month away from E3. We do know that Nintendo plans some sort of Nintendo Direct or multiple or something like that. You know, I mean, E3 is at the very beginning of June, so it could, you know, theoretically it should be in May. So, you know, we're within weeks of potentially some major announcements or at least showcases of some of the games we've already heard about. I think, you know, there are a couple pitfalls I think Nintendo could fall into, which is we do know some of the games that are already on the way, like Wonderful 101 and Pikmin 3, and like those won't be out by the time E3 happens, and if they rely too heavily on those games for E3, I think they're going to disappoint us and the fans at large, despite the fact that those games will probably be great, you know. And I think they do need to come out with some announcements, and while I'm super happy to see Smash Brothers and Wind Waker and Mario, I do want to see something new and original, and even if it's like a Wii Sports idea, that's okay. Show me why I should really, really, really care about Wii U. What makes that thing so much different that I don't care about PS4 or the other Xbox, because everyone's going to be talking about those. when the
Yeah,
show
if they could put
happens.
more focus on the tablet and less focus on how you can still use your Wii remotes with some new piece of software that gets everyone into it again, that would be amazing for
Yeah,
them.
focus on the software and hope that it outshines what the launch lineups are looking like for the other guys, and hopefully that works right.
Thanks a lot, everyone. E3 happens the week of June 10th. Keep it on IGN for all the latest news. And as a reminder, we're also going to be doing more of these discussions covering the big players like Sony, Microsoft, and everything in between. I'm Jamin Hatfield, and we'll see you soon.